Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Okay, Jesus. All right, trying to get it together here. There's not enough light. Green
Yeah, I see.
up. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Your lots look amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, they're growing. They're growing. I'm really happy. So let's talk alignment. Do you have anything to say about alignment and maybe some anecdotes about how you've been aligned or misaligned to things recently?
Girl, my mind's just trying to even figure out what does alignment look like and feel like, and like, what's the definition of that in my world?
Hi, Felicia.
Is that Felicia Leatherwood?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Felicia Leatherwood! Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what alignment even looks like, feels like in my world, cause yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you'd like to begin with what alignment is and how you've been aligned or how you've been misaligned. I tell you what, I'm not aligned with. My bank account is not aligned with the bad bitch that I think that I am. I'll tell you that much. I know that for sure. For reals, for reals. Cause
For me, alignment has been a big thing, especially because I don't have a hard time being disciplined. I don't have a hard time being productive. And if it's for the sake of other people and their projects, I don't even have a problem being prolific. I really have a problem with self expression and aligning my inner self with my outer circumstances and aligning like my inner voice with my artistic expression or with my day to day. So I feel like for me, alignment of my inner world versus like my outer world and getting those two in sync is kind of like my number one goal right now, because when you're operating out of misalignment, you can be as productive as you want to be. You can even be as financially abundant or successful as you want to be. But if something is missing and something's misaligned, it's not going to feel right. And it dampens the results. And it makes the process confusing, because if you're not aligned, then the results that you get are going to be misaligned too. And then the process is going to be way off because the foundation is like shifted, it's offset from the beginning. So for me, alignment means a lot. And I think alignment is very personal to whatever people are going through. And what's aligned to me right now is actually kind of pulling away from what I've been doing my entire life, which is really scary. Um, and that's just being a creative person, aligning my creative goals to get financial success or external validation or recognition and things like that. And I feel like I've been doing that, and I've been on that train since I was like a single digit child. So in order to just get some more alignment that's away from validation and recognition, um, I really just have to step into being aligned with myself for myself and not for anybody else. Uh, and that means getting in touch with myself in ways that I haven't prioritized. Um, so we've been journaling every day for what? It'll be 3 years in December now.
oh my God, it will be 3 years in December.
Yes, it'll be 3 years in December that we've been journaling every day and on this journal journey that came from doing the artist way, for me doing the artist way twice. So journaling every day is a great way to get aligned with myself and aligned with my inner voice and what emotions are like true and authentic to me in the moment. And even getting aligned with the fact that that might change and that emotions are not permanent and that they're temporary. Because for a lot of my life, I was aligned with, if I'm feeling this way right now, I'm going to feel this way forever, and kind of operating off of that, instead of understanding that, emotions are just a compass. and they should help you seek alignment, but you should not necessarily align yourself with those emotions, meaning don't identify with them. And that's been really helpful for me lately. And then also just getting alignment with my body, my physical body. Tend to kind of ignore my physical body over the years and prioritize my mind and my intellect and my imagination and my creativity. But um, being in alignment with my physical body is really important, especially as I age. Just knowing when's the time to stop, knowing what habits I have that involve my physical body that serve me or that don't, and just being in alignment with my physical body, which in turn aligns with my intuition, which is less of a mind thing and more of like a bodily thing. Definitely more of a physical thing. So yeah, just being in alignment. Oh, Felicia wants to join. I don't know when you send that message, Felicia, but we would love for you to join. If you're still on, absolutely you can join. Send a request. I'll keep my eyes down. But if you've left, no worries. I'm gonna just go ahead and continue. So yeah, doing yoga every day has definitely helped me get in alignment with my physical body as well, and my intuition and my body's capabilities. I'm here. Hey, okay, let me see. Let me go ahead and yeah, send you a request. All right, Felicia. Oh, you sent one. I sent you one too. I think, let me see if I can go ahead and answer. Yeah. Hey.
Hey,
Hi,
we got the Felicia Leatherwood on board.
it's my favorite people.
Hi. Hi.
It's a social media party. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
If it's three gathering, it's a party. So yeah.
First of all, I didn't even know you were doing this. I just happened to go on. I don't know why I went on because I hardly ever go on here. Oh, I went to post a
Same.
video
Okay.
and I saw you. I was like, oh my God, yay. And your what you're talking about is amazing.
Thank you.
Because probably right on time for me. Um, I'm very lucky and blessed to have caught you guys today on this topic. Can I share my alignment?
Absolutely.
Please do.
Mine's is kind of screwy because
Is Felicia still there on your end?
Yeah, it says she was unable to join. Dang, it froze right there. Let me try to send her one more request. Yeah, I'll go ahead and invite her. I don't know if she's abroad. Okay, hey.
that
You
was
dropped out
weird.
for a second.
Yeah, I was like, what happened? So, anyway, my alignment is with food. I'm out of alignment.
Mm.
So, what I did was I created a spiritual personal report card for myself, right? And I basically put on there like you was talking about exercise, diet, relationships, travel, um, all the things that I'm constantly doing. Because a lot of times I feel like we get caught in this space of like doing the same thing over and over and over. And it doesn't mean we're aligned with it. It just means it's a routine.
Yeah.
And sometimes that routine is completely out of alignment with what we need spiritually for ourselves, especially now in the world. And so you talk about alignment, I'm thinking like as I go through my spiritual report card, what's out of alignment?
Mm.
Because I feel like being here, I'm in alignment. There's a reason I'm here. I don't know. There's a reason why I even know you guys, and that's part of
Yes.
my alignment. But the things that are out of alignment is definitely like me trying to understand like my food, like I'm in menopause, so it's like, oh, there's cholesterol and weight stuff and all these things, and you feel weird every day. You don't know how you're going to feel, so you constantly feel out of alignment, and
Mm.
you don't know if it's a spiritual thing. You're getting all this download from everything around you. You don't know if you ate something or drank something you shouldn't have and your body's rejected it now. You don't know if you slept weird. You just don't know hormonally if you're not aligned. So I don't want to keep like going on and on, but that I wanted to share because that's where I am. I'm like feeling I'm on the road less travel with myself right now. And that whole alignment is probably what I'm seeking on that road, is just how to make everything fit so that I feel fulfilled, like completely fulfilled, you know? So
Yes.
that's my 2 cents.
I love that you shared that because I was going to bring that point up later, that routine and repeating the same thing is not necessarily alignment, it's habit or it's compulsion. And there's a difference between like divine alignment with yourself and acting out of that alignment versus just acting out of what I would call not self things, which is fear, pressure, conditioning, anything that falls under there. So thank you for bringing that up. And I also wanted to say the road less traveled is definitely anything to do with women's health because all
Uh,
these years we've been walking around and there's very little that's known about menopause. People are just now finding out about
yeah,
perimenopause and how there's even a phase before actual menopause
yeah,
that like you can get these menopause type symptoms in like your late 30s and 40s. Like it's just we're kind of out in the woods being women, people who identify as women and all that kind of stuff, and not really having information about our bodies and having to intuitively figure all of this out. So
man.
thank you
I've
so
been going
much.
back to like bush medicine stuff. Like I literally been, there's a place here, well, as you guys know, called Napoli Naturals. It's in Leimert Park.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody watching, Leimert Park is our black community, our community of heritage. And I go in there, they have all these teas, they have all this stuff. I try to go old school. I mean, take it back to like what we used before prescription drugs, because that definitely got me out of alignment. High blood pressure, all this stuff out of alignment. Once you start taking those pills, you can't even stop. It's like so weird. But long story shorter, I've been going back to that. So how let me ask y'all, how do you, let's say you go somewhere, you go into a store to get your balance or to get something you're looking forward to getting. It's black owned and the service isn't up to par. So you're standing there for a really long time. No one's acknowledging you. They haven't said anything. You just want to ask a question, but they over here like doing 50,000 things, or with the same person letting them go on, and they don't know how to stop and say, "Ma'am, give me 1 second. Let me just see something real quick." Because some people just have a simple question. They don't want to run down their life.
Yep.
That's it. Where the eggs? Where the whatever? The herbs? Where that? I'm not eggs, but you know what I'm saying. Like where the root? Where the roots at? And just point. Then other people, yeah, they're gonna go into a thing, ma'am. Let me finish up with her. I get back. Long story shorter, if you're in a predicament like that and you start getting frustrated, won't that throw you out of alignment for something you're going to get to put you in alignment for? So
You
how
know,
do you calm your ass down and get back in alignment when you're going to get healing?
You know what's funny? When we first started this particular live, Khadijah she asked me about alignment and how I felt, and I was like, shit, I don't even know, like, what alignment looks like and feels like for me on a daily basis. But however, what it does look like and feel like is feeling satisfied, feeling fulfilled, feeling aligned, like, yes, I'm in the flow of this, yes, I like this, yes.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so good at being in the moment, and when I start, like, when irritation, frustration, anxiety, when all of that comes in, like, I notice it's like a red flag, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
what's going on here? But I immediately go within, because it's me. And no matter what it is, I don't have to feel that way. I can still have the same thoughts about it, but I
Yeah.
don't have to feel
So what
that
do you say
way.
to yourself inside when you're standing there like, really?
I
Like
am that too. I am that too. That's really getting me now, because my spiritual practice is oneness, and we're all one, and we're all the same. And part of the reason why I think I feel alignment all the time is because I'm not walking in this world like I am limitless. I am eternal. I am infinite. I am source. That is who we truly are. And when we focus primarily on like who and what, and not just the who, but the what we are, because I think
Yeah.
who limits us. You know, it just limits us to being humans, to being people. But if we start talking about what, then that's a being that far surpasses what this reality says, you know. It transcends that. So because I'm trying to focus on one, I forgot where I read it, but somebody on social media was like, "I am that too," and that stops me in my track. When I see when I see the people in government and politics, and my face gets all screwed up, and I be like, that bullet didn't go far to the left. I'm like, you know what? I'm that too.
What
And
does that
all the
mean though? Like the
that I
fact that
am.
we noticed it means we're also we have it in us. Is that
Yep.
what you
Yep.
mean?
The only reason why I can even see it, recognize it, and be phased by it is because it's in me too. Because I
Yeah, but to
recognize
act
it.
on it and to have it is different.
Yeah,
Like
and
I
so
want to go out right now at like this time of the day and have 5 margaritas, but you're not. But there's somebody doing it, and they might be an alcoholic, and they shouldn't even be sitting there. And yes, we have that in us to go have that, but we ain't gonna do it.
right.
I wanted to interject real quick because I think this is great. I love how this is evolving this conversation. Um, with the example you used, being in the store, that hit me personally because I'm often that person who's standing there waiting, not being seen. When that happens, I get to choose how I react to it first, and then I kind of try and seek alignment after I evaluate my reaction because I feel like the first gut reaction tells you a lot about your self concept, your concept of your external, and all of that. So if I'm feeling like kind of invalidated, like my existence is being invalidated because I'm being ignored,
Yeah.
you know? And that's the core reaction, I can hold that and see if that's in alignment with truth or my personal truth. Am I valid? Yeah. Is my time worth a lot? Like whether it's money or whatever type of energetic, measurement you want to give it. Yes, my time is worthy and I don't deserve to have my time wasted. Um, and as I go through what's the truth right now, because I'm feeling invisible or the reaction of others spurs that feeling in me does not necessarily mean that feeling is valid and correct. But what might be true is that they're busy and the service just isn't good. So I try to align back with the facts because sometimes our emotions will like get deep into the rut of like, I know they're not ignoring me
Yeah,
or I
person
know they're not
start
thinking
feeling,
that I don't got it because I
yeah,
do.
feel like it's a personal thing. And I think, I don't know, like I said, menopause or maybe just because I'm getting older, you take on more of that. Like everything starts feeling like don't they know? You know?
But
Or,
you know what? And I started realizing that that's part of my ego when I'm like, ooh, don't they know? Or they should. And, I don't want to shit on people. I don't want to shit on people. And like I had that very same thing happen to me not too long ago, Felicia. So that's interesting that you brought that up. And in the moment, I felt all of these things coming to me and I was like, whoa. And I was just like, and I thought about like my grandbabies because I don't like to tell them no and stop off the rip. I'm always like, let me reframe so I tell them what it is I want them to do.
Mhm.
So instead of stop hitting or get that out of your, or stop that. Take, don't put that in your mouth. It's like, hey, shoes belong on the ground and not in your mouth. So when I'm in the store, just recently, I was in the store and they were having a long conversation. And I was like, oh, don't you realize? And then I was like, look. Just you calm down. You calm down. What do you need right now in the moment? And I was like, I need service. And so I just said, excuse me. And before, what would stop me from interjecting is because I'm gonna have attitude. It's gonna be on my face. It's gonna come out in my tone.
Yeah,
And I don't want that because that's not
like
aligned with who I
that.
say I am. But I've had to just be like, look, I need what I need. So hey, excuse me. I see you having a conversation here, but I have a simple question. Can I find a and then that's it. And do
Our people are different sometimes with that. They'll be
you
like,
know
uh, You get no. It's like you feel like you're running in place. And you're like, damn, well that didn't hit. Okay. But then also I want to ask y'all, like, this is how I've been feeling lately. And maybe you guys can help me with this. So I'll be, how old will I be? 57 in 3 months, I
Look
think.
at good 57. Come on,
Yeah.
57.
And I've seen, we've all seen a lot. Not as much as our parents saw, but enough. And we see things with a different eye than anybody in the whole wide world sees it. That's what I'll say. And you know what I mean. I've come to realize that that has caused me a lot of anxiety in with a very x-ray vision of life. And because of it, it's made me have a sense of entitlement. So my patience has run shorter because I don't feel like I should have to suffer certain things because of my x-ray vision of life and seeing all the suffering. So then it's like that's where it comes from. And then I'm out of alignment because I'm like, why we still, I shouldn't be going through this. I don't deserve, if I go in a hospital and they, you get to run around and all that, first thing you're gonna think is your color.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, if somebody don't respect us a certain way, even our own people, you think it's your color. And then you with your own people and they don't respect you, you think it's all of our colors in that moment. So how do you get back into grace with yourself, knowing that the world has deemed you as different and not the best way, because
Mm-hmm.
your calling card is the melanin you walk in with? How in the moment you talk to yourself and tell yourself it's going to be okay when you know the history of what okay looks?
For me, and this is just me, and it's so funny because I am so not a I am so not a Christian, but I am really, really, really working on being Christ-like. And because I'm keeping it in the forefront of my mind of who I am, again, I transcend all of that. Because recently, I forget when it was. I think sometimes in March or February or whatever. I had these chest palpitations. My heart was hurting. I was like, I got to go to the hospital. And I went there and I told them what was happening and how I was feeling. And when I tell you, I was feeling overlooked and I was just sitting there and I was in pain. And I didn't even have the strength, the capacity, the bandwidth to get up and advocate for myself. And I was like, I'm here in this emergency room by myself, and
Yeah.
it's this, and I'm looking at all of the things going on. And of course, I'm thinking of all the other times I've been in the hospital and what has transpired and occurred with my health. Of course, this and how it's being treated and the medical staff and all of that and woo woo wop. And then at some point, I just made a decision and I was like, yeah, not doing this. I cried. I sat there and I cried and I got it out. And then I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm here by myself. I don't need to be here by myself. So I'm going to leave and I'm going to go home and I'm going to reset and do something different.
Mm,
I'm going to be all right because I know where all my source comes from. I'm going to be all right. Turns out I have COVID, and found in the very next day got it handled and I was feeling better and everything like that. But when I tell you, in that moment, Felicia, like everything came back to me because from the last time I was in the hospital, when you had to come visit me, my life was on the line.
yeah.
And I think my life was on the line. And my life was on the line for a lot of reasons. And it wasn't even just because of the color of my skin, because I had the same skin folks who was doctors who was just ignoring me.
Yeah.
The gender is a lot too. So being a woman on top of that as
Yeah.
well is
Yeah.
another added layer.
And
But
so,
I'm going to choose, and I'm always going to choose to focus on my own highest good and what's good in it for me, and just know that the best is going to come out of this for me. And
yeah.
I cannot allow myself to focus on anything else because it becomes a spiral and I just spiral down
Yeah.
because there's just so much. There's so much.
Do you guys know the person who's on right now? Sammy Kim,
Yes, Sammy.
her
Hey,
friend.
Sammy.
She has a beautiful profile photo. Hi, Sammy.
Yeah, she
Yes.
joins our conversations all the
All the
time. She's
time.
I love
amazing.
it.
Sam's like our number one fan.
I
Yeah.
Hey,
We love
Samantha.
Sammy over here. I did want to add about alignment and external
Sammy,
circumstance.
can you even hear us? Can you respond in the comments and let us know that you are still with us and can hear us?
Yeah.
Because I feel like she got kicked in and out. I saw her. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
You were
she
saying.
said hi. Love the
Oh, yay!
conversation.
Awesome. Okay, good.
So I wanted to add because you were speaking and when you said you can see like x-ray vision through the system, through life, through the
Mm-hmm.
treatment our community gets, our gender gets, whatever you were implying there, I felt that because I
Yeah.
feel that way too. And I think it's understanding that the system itself and society itself, especially Western society, I can only speak for what I'm living in right now, is very misaligned with the collective in general.
Mm-hmm.
So there are going to be moments where we experience misalignment as a result of the already widespread
Spread
misalignment
misalignment.
that's happening within these systems.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of alignment we could do with ourselves, right? And we're more in control of that. But I think that what seeps in and gets insidious is the greater misalignment that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like how we can adjust that greater misalignment, that systemic misalignment, I should say, is being really honest and authentic about the injustices that happen when these systems are misaligned. I was thinking about this with your earlier example with being in the store, right? Being in the store, it might be a misalignment with staff. It might be a misalignment with the customers and staff. It might be a misalignment with who's on the floor. Some people might be on the floor who shouldn't be on the
Get on
floor.
the floor.
They don't
Need
know
to be
how
in the
to
back.
talk with people. They don't know how to keep things succinct. They don't know how to respect everybody on the floor and instead get overwhelmed with one person
Right.
asking all these silly questions. So that's a misalignment that has nothing to do with you,
Mm-hmm.
but you can bring attention to that misalignment by speaking out and being like, hey, like I've been standing here for 30 minutes and I haven't gotten any service. And I really would love to shop at this store and I would love to get some information. But because of whatever misalignment is going on in this establishment, I'm unable to do that. And I have to go now. I'm a very busy person.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna tell you something. This is misaligned for me. I cannot. There's a misalignment happening right now. I can't be here.
I
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
know.
use that in relationships. I don't think we lined up, bro. This is a misalignment. Like,
Look, I have said that in so many of my relationships, and if only I were to stand 10 toes down in what I said, I would have saved myself so much time because I've already said, I was like, okay, no, we're not lined up. We're misaligned. This is not in flow. And, but still there, riding a wave in more ways than one. But,
that's so funny. That's
And
so
I,
funny. Do you think though? Do you guys think that the women have kind of been a little bamboozled into being? We're not. I don't feel like we're united. Like I feel like
no,
the.
girl, no. Honey,
uh,
patriarchy has
wait,
been
wait, wait. I want to hear
conditioned
the
into
rest of what you have to
us.
say, though. I want to hear the rest of what you have to say,
I'm
Felicia. Please
sorry.
continue.
So I feel like the women have been misled, and because and the main reason I'm gonna tell you the biggest way I know is because of the way our periods sync up. The fact that you can have your period on a certain time of the month all the time, and then you go hang out with a friend or two other people or three other women, and then all of a sudden your period's off, or you get these cravings, or even like with me with the menopause, like I mean I get a period, but if I'm around young women and they're having their period, I'll get cramps. My body reacts. That right there tells me we're missing something. There's
Yeah.
some type of uniformity. Is that the word? We're supposed to
Connection.
be connected in a more powerful way than just grocery shopping and having kids,
Yeah.
right? Like there's something going on. And I'm like, that's kind of powerful. The fact that the moon can rule us, planets can like align a certain way and
Yeah.
affect us. What are we missing? Like, what are we're looking at life with the wrong lenses, because there's something, some kind of other universe that we have access to that we're not accessing together.
Yeah, I mean, it's all energetics for me. We focus solely on the what's solid, the physical world, and there's so many more dimensions here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we don't even, like, we'll say, oh yeah, good vibes, and I can feel her energy, but we really don't operate from energetic. We don't
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
operate from, oh, I'm energy. We're energy. All of this is energy. In science and in math we do for physical things, but not for the spiritual. And I think that that's where we are misaligned, and you are very correct when you talk about that with women. And you know, we are magical creatures, so much so that, you know, when we get too powerful and get too together, you know, that was called the Salem witch trials. You know, they start calling
Hysteria
us
and all of
witches.
that.
They
Mm-hmm.
start calling us witches because of
That's
because of
that.
all of the things that we can
Ooh.
conjure and the power that we have, but it is all energetic, you know?
Yeah, there's something we missing. I feel like we're caught between two worlds, and the one is invisible but more prominent, and we're not seeing it. You know, they just came out with an article recently where scientists have found out that they can bend light to basically create any image, like, and make it look real. So they can create a couch and it really not be a couch. It's a light image that's been bent. So you think it's that. So then it started making me think, well, mostly everything here is made up of light, dark and light,
It's
right?
all an
Darkness and the light.
illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't say that, but so I was like, so wow, if we really believe that if we hit our fist on the wall, it's gonna hurt and bleed, it will, and that's how powerful we are. We don't know it. Meanwhile, they're saying that the wall don't really exist, but we believe it so much so that we feel the pain of it. So we're living, it's a whole nother realm, y'all, that
Yeah.
It's
we're touching without knowing we're
multi-dimensional.
touching it.
It's multi-dimensional. And the thing is that we talk about these things and we touch on it, but it's very light, but it's not how we live our lives. And
Yeah.
it
No.
actually should be how we are living our lives, because that's really the truth of the matter. When you start looking at science and they talk about the waves and the particles and how they can exist and da 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 da, and everything is the same. The only thing that is different is the rate of vibration. Steam and ice are the exact same things. It's just the rate of vibration. You either
Yeah.
experience it as steam if it's vibrating too fast, or you experience it as ice if it's vibrating too slow.
Yeah.
So if we really truly got into our frequencies and how we vibrate, and the fact that we are energy, the fact that we can only see 0.039, whatever neuro knowledge says, of the world, because our eyes can only see what the visible light spectrum.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've already found out that, oh my gosh, there's more light than our eyes can actually see. There's more
And
light than
sound. Mm-hmm.
there's more light and sound than even the animals on the earth can see. There's more than that. So
Right.
it exists. All of these things exist, but we are like those horses where they put the blinders on,
Yeah.
and this is
The
all we
Tunnel
small.
see.
vision.
And to be honest, we are actually walking around living our lives like we looking through straws. So
Yeah.
Dang.
everybody is actually looking through straws, and that's what we see, thinking it's the whole fucking shebang, and it is not. It is not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's scary. That
It is not.
people scared of politics and all this stuff. No, that's scary to me. That's scary that I have fallen into the belief of an illusion.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, which is why the Matrix is so fucking powerful if you really, really get deep into it. Because yes, this is all an illusion. It is not the realest thing that there is. So I'm not saying that it's not real, because it looks real, it feels real, it smells real, it tastes real, but it's not the realest thing that's out there. It's not the only thing.
Yeah.
Why parents tell us that money didn't grow on trees?
Conditioning.
They make money out of paper.
It does grow on trees. It does. It actually
Like the
really kind of
dumbest
does.
thing, one of. Like what? If we really believe that money grew on trees, everybody would have more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
And look, imagine if you will, that the top 1% actually knew that we were all under a spell.
What do you mean new?
I feel like
Huh?
they know. They the
Of
ones
course they know.
enforcing the
Yeah, of
spell.
course they know. They know. And but it's like this grand scheme to keep everybody else from knowing your true power. There's nothing they can do about it once you know, but they keep you so conditioned because it's so easy. It is so easy to condition and program humans. It's so easy, but it's also easy. It's also simple to break free of that. But simple ain't always easy. So it's
Yeah.
simple. And if we are just kept in survival mode, then it becomes challenging to transcend and to see above and to really tap into that power that we all know we have. Like we all know it, which is why we're misaligned in the first place, which is why we have this tugging, nagging, fucking feeling. And we think that it's because of money, we think it's because it is, we think it's because of that. It's because we are powerful beyond fucking belief.
So
And
Yeah.
we don't fucking know it and we not living up to it.
yeah. We
Yes,
talked
Jillian. She
in front of,
said,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, no problem. Jolene says in the comments they definitely know. That's how they benefit on humanity, to stay in that spell or trance of the matrix. And
Ooh.
trance is a great word because it goes back to the compulsion we were talking about earlier. Being in trance is like an automatic state. And
Yeah.
being in compulsion or addiction or any habitual action is also a
An automatic.
repetitive
Mm-hmm.
trance like thing where you get in an automatic state of automatically doing things without necessarily being intentional about it or being
Yep.
holistic with it. So, yeah, I would say definitely it's a trance, and being in survival mode amplifies the effects of the trance because of the fear
Well, do
and
you
all the
think that,
lack.
do you think sometimes when we get that ringing in our ears, it's either to break free of the trance or to alert us that we are in trance, or
I think
like,
it's a spiritual signal,
there,
definitely. It could
yeah,
be just
spirit.
tinnitus. I mean, sometimes things are
But
physical.
where did that word come from?
I need to know.
We got to put them in the trance, call it tinnitus.
And I definitely am someone who believes in the spontaneous ringing of the ears to be a spiritual sign of that nature, or a synchronicity.
Mhm.
So it probably is alerting you, your body, once again, that physical body having a knowing that your mind is not accepting. So the physical body alerting you of something, whether it's a spiritual sign or an emotional sign or a synchronicity to go for an idea, or like, hey, like, here's that idea you were
Something's
thinking
off.
about and it's showing up right again,
Yeah.
ears ringing, it's like bells, like a
Yeah. Like,
notification or an alert.
no, if it's a good alert, or, because even a fire alarm can be good.
Yeah.
It don't always have to be a panic. It'd be like, okay, I'm letting you know something's going
Yeah.
on. Go put it out. Um,
You,
but I know that I've been sleeping on grounding sheets. You heard of those?
I haven't even
Grounding
heard of
sheets.
those grounding sheets.
Yeah. So I got this grounding sheet and I've been
Oh, she.
sleeping on that at night, and it puts you in like the best deep sleep ever, y'all. Like, look up grounding sheets. It's on my Amazon. And then I've been dealing with this pain like in my ankles. So I've been using this. Have you ever seen one of these?
Yes,
Oh,
I
is
Or
it a
have.
tuning fork?
this one's 128 hertz. I don't know if
Hurts.
you see that. And so I put it on the pain and I hit it, and the vibration, I think it like sends some kind of waves to the cells, takes the pain away.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. And so since I've been doing these things, because I always got some kind of gizmo over here, but the ringing's been gone from my ears. And
That's
I've
great.
had it ringing for years. Like it's just always there. So the grounding sheets and this thing, I think, has been what's kind of get me back in alignment.
Yeah.
There you go.
So thank y'all so much for letting me come on here. I got to run, but I'm grateful for this conversation, because even these kind of conversations sets up my alignment.
Mm-hmm.
It lays, it's like the bread, and then so when you go to make that sandwich, you got your foundation
Nation. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
flow side of. So thank you both for this opportunity.
Of
Thank
course.
you
I love
for coming
y'all.
on. on and gracing us. We both love you so much.
I love
Yes, we
y'all,
do.
and I love these locks that you are developing. It's it's
Thank
our
you.
gift to the universe. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I love
Mhm.
how you always over the years complimented me over my hair. And that's something that I had a hard time taking compliments on before. But
Mm.
now, especially doing my locks and like being on this journey, I'm in alignment. Like I'm in alignment with my natural hair. And it's great. Me and mom, you
You
know what I
and
mean?
your mom. I'm loving.
Hmm.
I love it.
Hmm.
Y'all make me miss my locks.
Yeah,
But I love
yeah.
y'all.
Thank you.
Love you
Yeah, this
too.
life journey has definitely had me in better alignment with who I am. Before you leave, I told you on the phone. I told you this on the phone. I want to say it here. That you were the one that told me it's not the hair that makes the woman, but the woman that makes the hair.
Yes.
And that is so true. And if anybody's listening to that, yes, it is all.
Well, if you look at my videos on my page, sometimes it is the hair. Finding out, girl. When they give me the videos, I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, the hair did that.
Mhm. Thank you
But
so
no,
much for
yeah,
joining us, Felicia.
I
Yes,
love
thank you.
you.
Love
Love
you
you.
too.
Bye.
Mwah, mwah.
Good day.
Bye.
Bye, Samuels.
Yes, Jeline says, I love wearing locks. They are amazing antennas. Antennas, absolutely. Like, it definitely feels like being dialed into something because you're not shedding your hair like you were previously doing, right? Because it's not loose. So it's like all of those strands contained is almost like a some sort of genetic record or something. Like it's really interesting to like just watch them grow, even just the experience of them. And when you first have them, they stick up like antennas too. Like
Too. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So they like grow towards the sun, and I feel like symbology and archetypes like inform the meaning of things.
Yeah.
So like the archetype of natural hair growing up, the afro growing up, the locks, especially when they first start sprouting up, it just says so much about the nature of our hair and natural hair. And the fact that our hair is a coil too, and all types of things people are learning about copper coils and the spiral and the power, the energetic power of the spiral and the fractal and all that
The
kind of
golden
stuff.
ratio. Yeah.
Exactly, the golden ratio. Like, hey, that's all in like the strands and structure of our hair, literally, like, which is pretty amazing. Jeline says it shows how connected we are with nature and trees. Our hair is built different. Our hair definitely is built different. And it's funny, it's so demonized too. Sometimes I like to look at what's really demonized in society um, to kind of see like what is powerful about it, because
Yeah.
usually things aren't demonized that don't have some sort of power. So like what's powerful about natural hair in that at one point in time it was illegal for us to wear it out, we had to wear wraps. At what point in time, did people associate curly hair with being of the devil or things like that? At one point in time, was it not considered professional, you know what I mean, to wear our natural hair and our coils and to embrace them and accept them? And what happened with our community when we were embracing our natural hair at like the highest point and to the highest level? So yeah, I don't know, it's a very interesting conversation. We probably got like about 10 minutes left before Instagram cuts us off. I just want to thank everybody who took the time to join, to listen. Once again, thank Felicia Leatherwood. Felicia Leatherwood is amazing, and it's interesting this conversation has become about hair because that's her forte.
Yeah.
She's an
Yeah.
amazing stylist with decades of
Natural hair.
experience,
Natural hairstyle.
natural hairstylist with decades of experience under her belt and an amazing client list. So yeah, thank you, Felicia, for just blessing us and gracing us with jumping on that call. Um, Definitely we aligned because she's like, I don't even get on here, and I saw y'all are on here. So
The
interesting to be talking
synchronicity.
about alignment, and we're just kind of
Yeah.
naturally just getting aligned more and more as this conversation continues. So yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? Yeah, I had said it earlier. And I just wrote in my journals that there was a part of me that had kind of been feeling a little numb, and I read this somewhere, and it was talking about like your traumas and like what your traumas look like as you mature and get older. And I was and I was noticing, I was like, yeah, sometimes I feel like a little numb and like everything is like a little surreal or whatever. And because alignment feels a certain kind of way, and if I'm not feeling, then I'm feeling out of alignment. And then you start breaking it down to all the different categories. And I was like, yes. So if I look at different categories, then I can tell, I can tell what I'm more aligned with, what I'm less aligned with. And then there's the overall alignment. And I'm glad, and I'm just reiterating it for myself, that I feel like all of us are just horribly misaligned because we don't know who we we have forgotten. We know there's a part of us that knows that we are so much more than what we even give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely.
um we're all these amazing beings, and and that's what I feel like I'm the most misaligned with. I need to be walking through the world every day knowing this, and know what you know until you do what you know. So
Yes.
operating from this place, and being totally aligned, feeling fulfilled and satisfied no matter what is going on externally. It's the internal, and being internally aligned is also key for me. Making sure that there is peace and joy and serenity and bliss and calmness and enoughness and okayness within.
Yes. Yes, key, 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 key. And I wanted to acknowledge a comment that Sammy said. She said, I've also been wearing my hair natural and it's made a shift in me. And I love that word shift. First of all, I love
Yes.
that for you, Sammy. Bring out
Yes.
the waves, bring out the curls, because I feel like Black people kind of sometimes have a monopoly over the conversation about natural hair. But there are people who are of various ethnicities and ancestry who
Right.
also have textured hair.
Hair.
Like,
Yes.
it might not be as tightly coiled as these, but like it is textured hair. And I love that you use that word shift, because I feel like being in radical alignment with yourself, it's like it's inevitable for a shift to come. And I think shifting is something that a lot of us want to do, because it's not even want to do. We feel in our physical bodies the shift that's happening in the collective and in
Yes.
society and in the world in general, and even in the universe right now. It's a big shift happening. And I feel like we can all feel it. It feels like time speeds up, and it feels like all these things are happening, and it all so fast. It's like a shift. So there's an urge for us to merge with this shift that's happening externally and have shifts internally. So I'm glad you're on the journey of having your shift internally and taking the step to embrace your natural hair as like a part of that shift. So yeah, I just want to
Right.
acknowledge that.
Yeah, that was great, and I love it when people have shifts. Oh my god, because just shifting a little bit can be so much, so much. And I always use this as an example. If the Earth shifted its axis even just by 2%, we'd be living on a very different Earth. So,
Yeah. And
so
and and, and a tiny, tiny shift could have really awesome, amazing, out of
dramatic,
this world
profound.
results and consequences. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, anything we can do to get more in alignment with ourselves is helping us shift internally and shift the world externally as well. When we shift internally, then it has an effect on our external circumstances. Just like me and you aligning, mom, to have this conversation on live, it got Felicia swept up in it as well. So it's like
yes,
that's a whole external, that's a whole person we don't control. You know what I mean? But when we take the steps towards alignment and we start to shift, that gives others permission to align and shift with us. And then that changes the collective, and then that changes the whole external experience we're having and systems as well. So yeah, it's probably going to cut us off. I want to thank again everybody who joined. One more thing, Jalee says, the paradigm is real. I feel we can sense what the earth has been experiencing a lot because of chakras and ley lines. I would
yes.
say definitely ley lines is something that interests me a lot.
Me
Kind
too.
of like these hot spots
Yep.
on the earth that maybe collect a lot of energy, or I don't really know another place to put it. But like Felicia was saying, I think there is, and mom, you were saying too, there's an unseen that's layered over the scene and over the mundane, that affects a lot. And I think we're in for a wild time of learning more about these things and investing a little bit more in the unseen than just the physical and the seen and the manifest and what's
Right.
here in front of
Right.
us. So,
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
exciting times. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on. Mom, do you have anything to say before Instagram
That
gives
you're
us?
awesome. That you're awesome, and you're eloquent, and you are brilliant, and you blow my mind.
Oh, thank you. I mean, all those things are you too. Just like you said earlier, like what you are, I am too. You know what I mean? So we're reflections of each other. And I appreciate you and I love our relationship. And I'm so excited to have another conversation. And I'm going to be getting our Conscious Conversation Instagram page up just so we can go live from there. I would have gone live from my personal account, but Instagram has a new rule where you have to have 1,000 followers and all that. And I was like, okay, I'll just go live from my art page.
I'm glad you had 1,000 followers, cause baby.
Yeah, I had it there. So I had it somewhere. So, but yeah, we'll definitely be setting up that Instagram page and that YouTube. And I'll probably be following some people who I know come here often and who listen to our conversations who would really benefit from having a clear space to go to know about our updates and to see clips and conversations and things like that. So, yeah, love you all. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you so
us on this
much.
talk.
Hi,
Yeah.
Julie. Thank you for showing up as always.
Yes, thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Jeline. Thank you, Felicia.
Felicia.
Sue, I see Sue join. I don't know if she's still here,
Hey,
but thank you, Sue,
Sue.
for joining. And everybody else. I even think I saw Kingston. Thank you,
Oh,
Kingston, for joining. Probably a little weird that it's not art related, but we'll definitely have our own Instagram page up soon. So,
that's it.
all right.
All right.
Bye, y'all.